All right, welcome, Senior Home Business family. How you guys doing out there? Or people that are just watching, located us, identified us as senior placement agents, which would be cool because this is Brittany, this is Matt, and we're here to talk about the senior placement business today. But we're going to kind of go behind the scenes a little bit. What does this business look like? More than just leads, more than just even helping seniors. And I know that's kind of the basis of this business, but there's a lot more going on throughout your day that you need to understand and you need to adapt if you're not already doing to not only create momentum but sustain momentum. So Brittany, I'm super excited about all what you're doing, what we're doing in this business and our students, and just look forward to more people helping because we need more people, because the rate we're going with seniors going into assisted living is unbelievable, and we need just more hands on deck as possible. So if you'll know more about what we do, you can click down below and click a consultation call with me and learn about the Senior Placement Institute. I believe there's a webinar down there that Brittany and I did. There's a 3-day workshop, and there's also, if you guys just kind of want to get your feet wet, man, I am doing a how to get a paying client in 12 hours. And this is not a webinar. This is not something that's just strictly instructional. You're going to be able to watch me do this. Like, I'm putting myself, Brittany, on blast, on camera, under the lights. I mean, it's going to be real and it's going to be raw. And you get the chance to see me do this kind of thing. It's coming up September, I believe, the 18th through the 23rd. And it's over the course of 6 days. I'll be working 2 hours a day in an area that I've never done this business before. I don't know anybody in senior living there, no one in skilled nursing facilities, hospitals, anything like that. So I would encourage you to look at this, go to it. The link's down below. You can look at all that later on if you like to. So Brittany, let's get into it. Let's talk about today. Boom, pull up the title here, Beyond the Calls. And this is Beyond the Calls, what senior placement really looks like day to day. Because maybe some people out there, Brittany, have an impression about this business where they go, man, all you're doing is making calls. All you're doing is visiting senior living communities, skilled nursing facilities, and all that. But there's so much more in preparation and then along the way during your day. Isn't that right?
Agreed. Yeah, there's a lot of mix of things. We obviously make a lot of calls. There's no doubt about it. But there's a lot, I know we're going to go over today, but just a lot of mix that we do. It's not a stagnant job or business by any means. There's always something moving or changing or things you can do. So it's a very good business to be able to think a lot and be able to come up with new ideas. So it's really unique. It's not just, what they smile and dial. That's what they used to say. It's not a smile and dial kind of position.
Yeah, the smiling will help, but it is more than just that, to Brittany's point. And Brittany, I mean, I want to talk today, number one, we're going through 5 points, and the last one really will help you out a lot. So be sure to stay with us throughout this video, but it does encompass all we do as people. And the cool thing about this business, Brittany, that I love so much, I've grown over the years personally. I mean, not only in my business, and I get more move-ins today than ever, and I got a staff, and you got a staff, and we got a team, but it's just personally we get to grow. And but it's a daily mindset kickoff, right? I mean, I don't know, you probably have a routine you do. I've got a routine that I do, and one of the things that I do is just wake up with gratitude. I mean, number one, you're alive, right? I mean, you are here today. You've got a purpose. You've got a calling. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. So thank God you've got breath today. So when you wake up in the morning, one thing I've learned about gratitude real quick about this, I used to wake up and say, hey, I'm super grateful for life in general, my wife, and I go right down the list and just different people and different things that God has provided for me. But I learned not long ago to really enhance this gratitude session is that you are very specific each day and you change the things that you are grateful for. So in essence, like identifying 3 things you're grateful for that happened the previous day, the morning of. So when you wake up in the morning going, wow, not only am I alive, I'm here, I got purpose and a calling, but I am super grateful for what happened yesterday, and list 3 things, and now I'll put some perspective. So Brittany, what's some kind of things you do in the morning? I know there's I think a podcast you listen to, or Are you still doing that? What kind of things you do in the morning to kind of get you going and wrapped up for today?
Yeah, some podcasts, both professionally and more like gratitude. You mentioned gratitude. This is a really cool thing. I do this every day. It's the 5-minute journal. So to your point about being grateful and just gratitude and thinking and deeper than that, this is a daily thing that you do 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes every single night. I love this. It just has you thinking about things that not just life in general, but specifics of what happened. It could be something simple like I was able to put a smile on a family's face today. Things like that. So this is part of my daily routine. Things like this. I've got all little stuff, both professionally and on my desk. So yeah, all kinds of stuff that I do. So I just have that. And also taking a time like without social media, without your phone, just grounding yourself. I know that's easy to start scrolling or just doing things like that when you get your day started. So I also usually do something like the gym, but that's my morning routine. And then it sets me up for success for the right mindset.
Absolutely. I mean, just remind yourself of purpose. And the last thing we'll talk about, this number one point, is visualization. I do this a lot, Brittney. I visualize in the morning of what is going to happen that particular day. I do treat each day as though it's the only day. We never know how many days we got left, right? I mean, this could unfortunately be my last day. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully I got, many more days and many more years to come, but you're treating every day as though it's your last. And I visualize what in the world am I going to do today? And what is exactly going to happen today? So in a senior placement business, part of the visualization process, I'm already visualizing seniors that I'm helping. I'm visualizing things that seeing myself talking with seniors or talking with the loved ones, their, adult kids online or, whatever your choice of method of doing this business, you want to visualize that, right? And then not to get too deep in the woods and the woohoo stuff and all that, but, I do believe the manifestation part of it too. And there's plenty of things I've manifested over the years, and we don't need to get into all that. But whatever your morning routine is the point of this first point, is just do it consistently, right? And if I can tell you this, that Brittney, you probably know this, but you realize that 90%, if not higher, and this is scientifically proven, guys, this is not just some motivational speaker out there, blowing wind. It's scientifically proven that over 90%, I think it's like 93 to 94% thereabouts, of your thoughts are the exact same thoughts today that you're going to have as you had yesterday. And here's what I used to think. This is another thing that kind of meant about growing, right? Is I used to think I got to change my thoughts every day. I can't have the same thoughts every day. But here's the key. You can have some of the same thoughts. Just make sure the thoughts that you have are in alignment with your purpose and what you want to do. So any thoughts you're having that conflicts with that, goes against the grain of what you're doing professionally, personally, whatever, get rid of those thoughts, right? Some of those thoughts are just bad habits we had over the years, right? So get through some of that. But let's get into number 2, Brittney, beyond leads and calls. I mean, we talk a lot about getting leads. And of course, that's what I have to do on this senior placement challenge, right? I have to go get a paying client in 12 hours. So it's a lot of it is leads and a lot of it is calls. But what are some things that we can do to stay sharp during the day? Because let's say in my day today, let's say, for instance, I don't have a lead. Let's say I've exhausted my calls, or I'm kind of wondering who I should call. What are some things that we can do during the day to help us maintain momentum in our business?
I think staying up to date, researching communities, knowing what's going on in your area. It's the worst, or it's not a good situation if somebody calls you and you don't know the new community down the street or what's currently going on. Things like administration changes, executive directors, nurses. Also, if there's new hospice companies, home health companies, home care companies. I have found that this industry is always evolving, always changing. There's new businesses coming in weekly at this point at every level in the senior living industry and above. So also just finding out, like, is there new doctor's offices opening, just all different things. There's plenty of things you can do. Do you want me to I can just kind of jot off even more, but
come on. Yeah, just give it all of it, so
yeah.
we can steal and start doing it ourselves and get better.
Also, just staying organized is the good time to look back at if you don't have any business yet and you're brand new, starting to get your systems in place. It's looking what that's going to look like from A to Z, how to get from one spot to the next with the clients that you're working with. What timely manner should you reach out to new communities and build relationships and get to know new people? It's a great time to start reaching out and setting appointments for the next week, for the following week. It's a really good time to get to know everybody. if it's quiet, marketing's like a huge thing, like getting your name out there, being able to just show your face, and beyond trying to get a lead, just be creating these relationships with people, asking people to lunch, sending, great thank you notes, or bringing a snack or a coffee to somebody, just doing things like that to really make it more than just getting leads. A lot of the feedback I get is these marketers walk in and all they want is a family, all they want is a lead. But, learn these people, get to know them, find out about their kids, find out about their personal life, and just become more friends with them. So this is a great time to actually spend time doing that, not just walking in looking for a lead and trying to get the process going.
Yeah, I love the relationship building you're talking about. And one thing I try to do every day, and I honestly, before God, I can't say I do it every day. I try to remember, but I got this from Bradley years ago, is that try your best each and every day to send out like 5 texts to people that are on your phone. We all got 150 plus contacts in our phone, and just send a text message of how grateful you are for them to be a part of your life. And that's part of the relationship building. And that way you're also training yourself to Brittney's point, you're not just going after leads and asking someone to help you in your business, but you're actually helping them, and you're showing appreciation for who they are in your life, and not just somebody that you work with. Right. I mean, some of the coolest jobs I had in years, because I became an entrepreneur, Brittney, in 2018. So prior to that, a lot of W-2 jobs, and a number of them were sales jobs. And a lot of those people are still my friends. And the reason they're still my friends is we did things together. We talked, we went out together. We just kind of did all kinds of stuff together as a group and individually and small groups. And it just really helps. So kind of carry that with you. So if you've got some people out there that are in your phone, which I know you do, I don't care if it's your parents, it could be friends, it could be coworkers, or people you're trying to establish a relationship with. Just send them a text of gratitude, and don't expect anything in return, but just do that and let it go. And that's what I do. Because when I first started doing that, which again, I don't do it every day, I try to, but when I first started doing that approach, is I would text them and I'd sit there and wait and see if they're going to respond. And they didn't respond right away. And then 30 minutes went by, they didn't respond. And it's like, geez, man, what in the world? You just got to do it. Set it, forget it, go on about your day, come back to your phone. I guarantee you have a couple of them that have already responded to you, and you're going to be on your way to building relationships. But Brittney, I want to get into number 3, handling the quiet moments. I mean, quiet moments when a move-in is not occurring, when you don't have a lead on the table. Hopefully, as you get your business established, not you, Brittney, but the audience and people that are in this business, get your business more established, you'll have a lead funnel. But let's just say, for sake, that your lead funnel is dry and you don't have any leads and you don't feel like there's any calls you can make. I mean, how do you handle the quiet moments? I know I've had them personally. You've probably had them over time as well. How'd you deal with it?
It's tough. I mean, with any business, even in the beginning, I would say I still have some quiet moments. I think my quiet has changed as you grow in your business. So our definition of quiet as you grow does change quite a bit. But I think a really cool time is to sit back and look and reflect. Look how you can grow your business. What can you do to change your business? I think a negative connotation goes with being quiet, where you're not busy, you're not getting business, you're not making money, you're not helping families. But I do think it's kind of a blessing to have some of those moments so you don't burn out and you're able to really sit back and, I think, look at your business from a scope, not just working in your business, but being able to step back and look at it as a whole. I do things like just mindset, making sure that I'm grounded there. Also start making a plan. This is a good time to, all those things that we think about every day. Oh, I'd love to do this. I'd love to outreach here. I'd love to do this event. All the stuff that I know me and you, Matt, probably think 1,000 things a day. Actually take action on those. So being able to set up an event, being able to maybe hit a hospital or a skilled nursing that I've never reached out to before, and I have the time to do that. So that's usually what I do, is just look and find out, what am I missing, or what have I thought about? Or I might be driving one day and say, oh my gosh, I should go to that hospital or that skilled nursing, but that's a great time to be able to do that. And then just look at your personal stuff too. Do things like, find things that make sense for you to keep you grounded. This can be an emotionally exhausting position. So just taking that time to kind of take that mental break and being able to do things to make you feel better, that is just going to make you a better placement agent and a better person and help you grow. So I think it's a really good way to look at it as a positive. I can guarantee you most of us look at it as a negative, but yeah, the positive flip on it, I think is really nice.
Yeah, I know early on in my business, I did look at it as a negative. It was like, okay, it's too quiet. Oh my gosh, where's the next move in going to come from? Where's my next lead? And I've said this story once before, maybe twice throughout the years on this channel. Is that there's at one point we were down to our last like $2,400, and we had to go to LA for a trip, and it's kind of like I had nothing in the pipeline, no potential move-ins, no leads. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, my business has come to a crashing halt. And it didn't, obviously. We picked up a couple more leads. We got to move in while we were there, and everything's great. But what I look at it as a time of personal growth now. So, like, if I have a dry period, like, I actually look forward to some of those times now. I've had the joy of helping a lot of seniors, making a lot of money, doing a lot of different things in this business. And so, when I do have a moment, an hour or two, or whatever, that nothing is going on, to me, that's a blessing because it's something I can do. I'm intentional about my day, right? So I'll go for a walk. I'll go outside and pray. I'll go do something for myself, hang out with my wife. If the grandkids come over, it's just, you're not escaping from your business, because any of those things that I would do, I'm still thinking about the business. Now, from a different standpoint, I'm not thinking about the business like, oh my gosh, we're about to crash, we're about to fail, all these negative thoughts. I got positive thoughts. And it actually gives you a time to refresh, right? You're kind of, we call it recentering, right? In terms of why you're doing what you're doing. This business is not for me anyway. It's for seniors. And I'm just refreshing my tank, and I'm recentering myself to experience the why of why I'm doing this, why I'm doing something else. And don't beat yourself up. So here's another thing too. Like, if you're in your, let's say your office, I'm here and nothing's going on, and I feel like my energy is low. I feel like, I'm just not as motivated. I've been sitting in this chair for a number of hours, or just a long, lengthy period of time. What you want to do at that point, just get up, walk out of the office, go do something that's for you. I mean, I would not encourage you to go watch TV, go do something like, I'm not trying to get you to disengage from the business, but get yourself out of this place, out of this state, because I'm sitting here right now going, I'm hitting the wall. Oh God, what do I do? And I've run out of ideas. Creativity is low. Energy is low. Go do something to pick up the energy, pick up the creativity. And when you do that, then you come back, you're fresh, you're ready to go. And you'd be surprised at what happens at that point. So that kind of leads in number 4, Brittney, the mindset of service. I mean, we talk a lot about in this business, it's a heart first approach, right? Speak on that a little bit. What does this business mean to you in terms of leading with your heart?
I think it's really special to be able to do it. I look at it as I actually get an opportunity to help people. That's a neat way. I always make this quote. I've probably said it multiple times on live, but I'm blessed to be able to give my services to my community. And if I really do feel like I would be doing a disservice not to do that. So I have heard time and time again comments just like, I wish I would have known about you. You're a blessing. All of those things just make you lead with your heart. I've always had a passion for working for seniors. This is an amazing way to be able to help back not only the seniors, their families, the whole community in general, just to make it a better place for our elders, and making sure they get the resources they need and the care that they need. So it's so rewarding. So I really think we always talk about the financials a lot on here and just everything this business does for you, but being able to lead with your heart, go to bed at night and know that you've really helped people is life-changing.
Yeah. And it really does change us, this business, right? I mean, it changes us mentally, the way we view life. Life is short. I mean, it just really is. Every time we see seniors out and about, my wife will help out in some way, and it just reminds us again why we do it. But it is an abundance through service, but it should just teach us patience and compassion, right? Especially like when we're dealing with families, Brittney, that are going through this very traumatic time in their life. Is, we're thinking about the move in, we're thinking about the getting a referral fee. They're not thinking about any of that. They are thinking about the move in, but they're also thinking a different side of it. Like, what if mom doesn't like this place? What if dad is not taken care of? And they're thinking about all the logistics they're going to have to handle and do now, and maybe an additional expense and all that. And so it does teach us, hopefully, some patience and some compassion toward people, because people not only need it, we need it, right? We're going to reciprocate. I mean, you give and it shall be given unto you. And so you give out patience and you give out compassion. You're going to get that in return. And you have an opportunity to make your community a much better place by being that type of senior placement agent versus just trying to get the lead and getting the money. but just having a heart first approach, man, just in terms of why I'm doing this business. And this business, I'm so grateful that I got into this business. I didn't know why when I first got into it, Brittney, and being involved in sales for so long, and then got involved in a senior living community and didn't know anything about this business. But man, it's been a blessing to get to know as many seniors that I've gotten to know over the years. And as much as I feel like I've changed their life, in many ways, they've changed my life. And it's just so refreshing and rewarding. But Brittney, here's the human side, right, of the work. I'm talking about perspective on aging, which I kind of got ahead of the game a little bit, talking about life is short. But what kind of perspective do you eventually have, if you don't already have, in this business? Meaning, like when you first start, you may not have the perspective that you need, and that's okay, because you're going to grow into this business, and you get more people you get around, whether it be medical professionals and social workers, discharge planners, or seniors and families, and whoever you're talking to about this work. It's just going to remind you again that life is short, that life is precious. I mean, I'm getting ready to go see my mom and dad, and they're up in their late 70s. And again, we think in terms of, man, if mom and dad live another 10, 15 years, I've got 10, 15 years to be with mom and dad. Well, my mom and dad are 2,500 miles away from me. So I may not have 10 or 15 years. I may have 10 or 15 visits, one-time visits, things like that. So it kind of puts it in perspective. But what's your perspective on how this business has changed your perspective, rather, Brittney?
I think it's like a blessing. We all talk, we don't want to get older, we don't want to age. I think it's a blessing to get older. So I do think that's something that a lot of people don't think about it from that mindset. It shifted me. It's a blessing to be healthy. So we see a lot of seniors that, aren't in the best health when they come to us. And it's just a blessing to have your health. So seeing that, they take care of yourself and make sure that you can as much so your future is as bright as possible. And then again, just as a blessing to get old. We always talk about, we don't want to get old. We don't want to get wrinkles. But after being around the seniors that I'm around too, I just see the joy they can still have in their lives at 80, 90, 101, 105. So it's really neat. It's a whole new chapter for their life sometimes when we're working with them. So I really just seen a lot of different perspectives, but just the positives on it and not looking at it as a negative thing is huge. And then making sure that, I'm taking care of my body at a younger age to hopefully set myself up for the most success when I'm older.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. It's just increased empathy. And, from a physical standpoint, gosh, the older you get, Brittney, I'm 56, I'll be 57 in a few months down the road. And man, it seems like, and I stay fairly fit in terms of not like weightlifting fit, but just kind of like, exercise and do certain things. But gosh, older you get, man, it's like going up and down the stairs, and the joints in your knees start to hurt, or the joints up in, in your shoulders. And if you bench press or do anything like that, it starts to hurt a little bit more, to the point my wife and I, our next house will be a 1-story. We are not getting a 2-story from this point on. Even one of our dogs, he's 7 years old now. He's a Molschi, and at times he can't run up the stairs. A lot of times he can, but I think he's got some joint pain, and he kind of goes up and he'll look at you and like, hey, Daddy, I'll carry you upstairs. So I carry him upstairs to bed, and maybe I spoiled him because I used to do that when he was a puppy anyway. But it just reminds you to have empathy toward seniors. I mean, obviously they don't move around as quick. They're going through pain. They're going through a lot of different things. It could be just a cognitive decline. I mean, just a lot of different things that when, father time is batting 1,000, right? So the older you get, the more things that you're going to experience on a negative basis. But this business will increase your empathy, and not only increase your empathy, hopefully you'll start living with intention of what you're going to do to help people. I mean, your next door neighbor. I think of this. I said this last night at our TSL partner meeting. But I saw my Tar Heels get destroyed on Monday night. They just did. But one thing I appreciate about the whole thing, which was nothing to be appreciative about the score, but was the TCU quarterback. I cannot remember his name. I wish I could. But they said 2 things about him. They say he's a person of high character, and they gave 2 reasons why they said this. They said he was seen in his neighborhood not long ago. He was driving. He pulls his car over and gets out of his car, runs across the street. And the reason he did it was there was an elderly lady that was mowing her grass. And his mind was, no grandmother is going to be mowing grass. My grandmother's not going to do it, and somebody else's grandmother's not going to do it. And he went there and cut the complete grass for her. And then another thing this guy did was amazing. This guy has to be second, third year. So he's got to be like 20 years old. So, I mean, what an incredible individual. This guy up until recently was meeting with an elderly gentleman every Friday for lunch until the elderly person just passed away. But every Friday he was doing something to give back without expecting anything in return. And when you have that kind of mentality, that kind of mindset in this business, your business just grows. So if you're catching yourself out there and you're in this business, for instance, whether you're a senior placement agent, franchisee, or whatever it may be, and you're finding yourself stuck and you're finding yourself concentrating more on leads and more on money, make that internal shift over to the other side and think about the pain the senior's going through and the intention now you can have to help them and make it more about them than you. And I'm telling you, if we all do that, our businesses will all flourish because of that. What's your thoughts on that, Brittney?
I agree. Yeah. I mean, helping the more seniors that you're open to helping without judgment, without worrying about a check, it really does come back tenfold and your business will just skyrocket.
Absolutely. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this today. It was something a little bit different, but hey, when you're in this business, you are in this business. And I would encourage you, if you're thinking about getting in this business, or maybe you already are, is think more long-term. It disappoints me sometimes, Brittney, when I hear somebody, they've been in business for 3 weeks, they don't have a lead yet, they're thinking about getting out doing something else. I mean, too many people do that today. I did that when I was younger. If I didn't like something that was going on where I was at, I was already thinking about my next move, not within the company, but thinking about the move to another company to make things a little bit better and easier for me. But again, think about the senior, think about more long-term, think about what your life's going to be like 3 years from now when you are flourishing in this business. You are making the money that you deserve, but because of all the people you've helped, right? So when you make that shift more about people than money, man, life is so much easier. So we really appreciate you guys being with us today. Until next time, God bless.